Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Laura, and I'm going to do a quick reading today from my Muse Sings deck, which is a deck I created this year. It's called the Muse Sings. These are poker sides cards. It's my tiniest deck, and I created a tarot-sized deck, an extra large deck. These are all different decks than this one, but the Muse Sings deck is the tiniest one, and I've found that between the size and also the different kind of packaging that I chose for this one, it's super durable, super portable, and I bring it everywhere in my purse. So it's the best, like, portable reading. Has a few words on the back of each card, so that you can't really know which card you're looking at unless you, like, zoom in. And I just realized I'm doing this without my glasses, but that's okay. And these are the fronts. I'm going to introduce myself quickly. I'm Laura Volpentesta, if you don't already know me. Some of the cards are horizontal. Most of them are vertical. And they're really designed to be intuitive. So, you know, I did use words on front and back, sparse, spare words, because I know that when I was new to using any kind of cards, I really appreciated having words there. And actually still, I usually appreciate the words on the deck. But remind yourself, you'll know as you start to use them more and more, that each card has its own meaning for you on any given day, depending on what's going on in your life, what's on your heart that day, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. So always go with, like, your first thoughts that come to you when you see a certain card. And then the other really beautiful thing, I guess this is somewhat of a little tutorial too, is that, this is a yoga pose, is that you don't have to, you could pick just one, or you could pick a few. I love picking a few because they literally start to relate to each other. They start to string together as a story. My favorite kind of reading is to pull 3 cards. And usually I'll do them in order as progressing from the first to the second to the third. Another nice way to do it, and I'm going to do one for you in just a second. Another nice way to do it is to pull one for now, and then pull one for kind of like background energy, and then like moving forward energy. So these cards are nothing about like predicting, you know. They're all pretty positive anyway, but I haven't left out, you know, painful things as well, because there are so many layers to our lives. But the point of them is to lead you back to yourself. You know, we live in the world, and we can get very busy and very out there and very caught up in distraction and life. But it's always a relevant time. You'll know when you're called to get present with yourself, to get quiet, and to tune in to your peace. I'm not using my face today in these cards because I really want this reading I'm going to put onto my website to kind of demonstrate the deck. So, oh wow, that's too funny. I must not have shuffled very well. These 3 cards, all 3 of these cards came up yesterday. Wow. Jeez. That's funny. This is yesterday's reading. Maybe I should shuffle a little more. I'm going to do that because I want to have the fresh feeling of a new reading. You'll know, like, if something resonates, go with it. That's what this is about as well. These cards are very much about trusting your intuition, or even finding your intuition, because I believe that at a very young age, between church and school and family and everything else, and society, we can often get disconnected from our intuition. And using these cards because they're abstract, because of the colors and forms, we can tune back into asking ourselves how we respond to what we see. Now, a lot of times I'll pull them one by one and like ask for next steps before I pull each one. But this time I just pulled all three. I haven't even read them yet. I'm just, I do it different all the time. And I think you should allow yourself to as well. Let this be play, child's play, which leads me back to the topic of intuition, right? Like when you were a kid and you weren't judging anything you were doing, what did you do? How did you approach life? Okay, so first card I just pulled here is nature healing. And I'm so excited because I am literally in the window of a sliding glass door with the door open and the sun coming in, and it's like winter is just coming to a close. And I literally see the first crocuses peeking up out of the ground. And here she is holding tulips, nature healing. So I'm filming this as we're in the midst of the coronavirus scare. You know, everything's just closed down. And sitting here in the sun with the light and hope of spring is healing in itself. But whatever you're going through, this card, it can be a reminder to connect with the beauty of nature however you can. If you live in a city, it could be a potted plant, or I always say that in a city, the nature is the humans. There are so many humans everywhere, and they're like nature's expression. I also, when I'm in a city, I'll tune into the wind and the sun. If there aren't a lot of trees around, right now I'm getting all of it. There's bird songs, everything. I mean, this card, I'm just feeling it right on, right on. And there's also a sense of abundance and new growth. This is like the new green of spring. This isn't like the full-on green of summer. So there's like an innocence in there to me. And she's using her senses. She's touching the ground. She's smelling the flowers. She's feeling the petals on her face. There's the warmth of the sun. I feel that all of her senses are engaged. And, you know, we're here on earth. Humans, this is an earthly experience. Use all of your senses to experience the divine. How does nature soothe you? Okay, and another use for these cards is journaling. So that could be a question right there. How does nature soothe you? In the back it says, tune your attention to your tender connection to all creation. Now that message brings me somewhere else where she's becoming one with the trees, the sun, the plants. She is one of God's creatures. She is divine. Healing to me is pretty much always the remembrance that you are divine, that you are connected, that you are a part of this incredible world. Now, when you can tune into that space, and that's interesting that this card is more of a nighttime card. The moon. We went from the sun to the moon. And heart's desire. And I'm just thinking of how when we are connected with nature, when we're feeling our fullness and connectedness, it's the highest state of flow that we can be in. It's when we are the most receptive to inspirations and actions that are really guided by love in the world, right? And believe me, all of the, I'm not saying it's only love and light that, you know, it's all part of our experience, but remember that feeling good matters, you know, and when you get used to feeling good, your intuition becomes more intact, because whenever you don't feel good, you pay more attention. What's going on? What needs healing? What's unexpressed? What am I, you know? What needs my attention? Heart's desire for me is coming from this connection. Once you get there, when you have tapped in to your connection to nature, to the divine, to self, the sun within, the abundance within, the beauty within. See, her eyes are closed. When you're connected there, ask yourself, ask your heart, what's my heart's desire? I know that whatever comes from your heart is the truest. Your heart is your divine voice. Your heart makes decisions. Your heart is your most generous, loving, truest place. She's holding her heart sort of in this picture. She's looking in the moon. I think what's symbolic here for me is that she's in this dark, serene place, so she's able to focus. She's able to focus in the stillness. And she's asking herself, what is my heart's desire? And if that's not a great journal prompt, I don't know what is. And as you journal your desires, notice how your heart feels. Notice how your body feels. Where do you feel constriction, or where do you feel goosebumps and energy and flow, so that you can notice which heart's desires you are in conflict with. What do where do you have resistance or conflicting desires? That's another thing. Journaling it out can help you get clearer, because the less conflict you have in your desire, the more focused you can be on that positive outcome instead of like a tug of war. So that's a great inner journey to do. And then the last card I pulled was twists and turns. A lot of times I'll work with the words. My first thought right now is just looking at the images, and I see her being flexible. It's kind of a yoga thing, kind of a twist. It's almost like her body is the track of a roller coaster. And so I feel like this might mean, out of this stillness, we go back out into the world and start riding the roller coaster of taking our intuition and our messages from inside and going outside into form. And that we will be flexible, and we will be challenged in a good way. I mean, we're touching life, we're creating, we're stretching, we're growing. But I also want to refer to the back real quick and get messages from the back. So let's see what we got here. We have, your heart always knows truly. This is a reminder when you're making decisions or choices, or if there's a situation weighing on your heart, you can ask your heart actually for answers. Maybe it's not yes, no answers. Maybe it's information. Heart, what do you want me to know? What are you telling me? What do you need here? Where would you guide me? What outcome do you desire? And then for twists and turns, let's read the back as well. We got hold loosely to plans, hold firmly to your heart, and enjoy the ride. Oh, that's awesome. Enjoy the ride. I was talking about the roller coaster. And it also says hold tight to your heart, hold loosely to your plans. So this is about getting clear and then going out to the world with flexibility. And she's nude. A lot of them are nudes, but in this case, I feel a sense of a willingness to be vulnerable, honest, exposed. That's what nudity often represents to me, a sense of like self-acceptance and honesty and rawness. No masks, no outer shells, etc. Although in this one, I'm also noticing how she's holding her heart. She's focused on her, but she's also perhaps shielding her heart. And you could journal on that. What am I shielding? What am I protecting? What do I think I could lose? And then here, you could think about, what do I have to gain by being flexible? In our twists and turns, is there a negative connotation, or do we enjoy moving and being in the world and discovering and stretching and expanding? It's awesome. So, and there's a lot of blue here. So Blue is throat chakra. It's an expression center. I use a lot of blue in general. I love blue. But let's close out. Let's pick one more because I can't help it, okay? Let's pick just one more. Hopefully this gives you a lot of food for thought. That's the whole point. The whole intention behind creating this was to deepen your relationship to yourself. Think about it. They're not jumping. A lot of times they pop out. I think I'm in an awkward position. So I'm going to pick one from the top and one from the bottom. Decision, choice. Oh, that's interesting. To me right now, what this speaks of is, remember how I was talking about conflicting energy? I was talking about when you're clear and you release doubts. And it's funny, I can't remember why I was saying it. But to me, I feel like there's energy on this side and there's energy on this side, right? I feel like she's half and half between some kind of a decision. That's just what I'm getting today from this. And I also see that this is green. So this feels like maybe, new life. Green is also the color of the heart chakra. But I think that in one way I see her dancing. So that could be, divine masculine, divine feminine. This could just be about the balances, the yin and the yang within you. And that making a decision or a choice, she's dancing. She's not tied up in a knot or a ball, forced to make a decision. Today's message, what I'm getting is that if there's something you're feeling pressed to decide on, think about, allow yourself to not know if you don't know. Dance with the energies of that choice and know that you'll know when you know. If you don't know, that's information too. Don't force yourself to know something you don't know yet. And invite the divine to help, with the intention to help you decide. Weighing, considering. You can't go wrong. It is done. Yeah, sometimes I take peace in knowing that if I haven't made a decision yet, that on some level, the whole situation is already complete. I just haven't gotten there yet. Do you know what I'm saying? It's already resolved. Actually, the whole weight of the world is not resting on my shoulder alone. It's about allowing the universe to work with you in a dance. And then I'm going to take one from the bottom of the deck. What did I get? Breath work. Breath work is another great example of like nature meditation. Okay, if you're getting tensed up, you're getting scared, you're getting very distracted, forced, I need to know, what's going on. Just get present. Breathe in. Breathe out. But sometimes I think it's so unfair that only some people in the world get to live near the ocean. And then I remember that when we inhale and exhale, we truly tap into the waves on the shore. In. We have an ocean. In our own breath, we can contemplate the ocean. Close your eyes. Breathe in spirit. Breathe in light. Breathe in peace. Even for a moment, you are worth it. Do you see her? She's sort of a mermaid or something. And she's breathing in or out, but this same light is within. Connect with breath, always present. The unconscious becomes conscious. In breathing, connecting with your breath, set the intention that truth will come forward in that focused, quiet place. That's what's coming up for me today. And it's another blue. So I hope you enjoyed our reading. The Muse Sings deck is available at lauravolpentesta.com and also fashionillustrationtribe.com. Make sure you use the PayPal option, not the credit card option. It just processes way easier and faster on the website of the publisher. And I love you so much. Thanks for being with me. Have a beautiful day. Bye.